You are just in time for the biggest athletic show in this part of the world. It is setting the pace. On today's program, we will be looking in great detail about the 11th edition of the Standard Chartered Nairobi Marathon, the growth and the expansion over the years. Plus, we will get to meet one man that epitomizes the Standard Chartered Nairobi Marathon and really defines the essence of disability is not inability. Plus,
my first kiss was really good.
Stand by, there is more where that came from. Hello and welcome. This is Setting the Pace. Not a day passes in the world of athletics without some good tidings. Two-time world champion and 2012 Lowry's World Sportsman of the Year Vivian Cheruiyot gave birth to a baby boy on evening of 19th October at 7:45 p.m. Kenyan time. Her management company announced that the mother and baby Alan Kiprono are doing quite well. From our earlier exclusive interview with Setting the Pace, it appears that Vivian Cheruiyot beat our own deadline.
I'm expecting it to be on October 20th October, and I'm really happy because it's my first child and I'm eager to see him or her.
Elsewhere, over 20,000 runners are expected to run the 11th edition of the Standard Chartered Nairobi Marathon. The organizers have also revealed that this year a new change of route is expected to inject a new challenge to the event, whose security has been heightened. Elsewhere, Ethiopians dominated the inaugural Haile Gabriel Selassie Marathon in Hawassa, southern Ethiopia. Gudisa Chentema, the 2006 Berlin Marathon runners-up, won in 2:15:23 ahead of Tekelan Kebedo, a second behind, and Tefsaya Bekele, who finished 2 minutes after the winner. Almaz Negede won the women's race in 2:39:50 ahead of Abebech Segae and Sentanyahu Gatachiu. This year, thousands of runners from all over East Africa will be congregating in Nairobi for the 11th edition of the Standard Chartered Nairobi Marathon that will be run on Sunday, 27th of October. But as the event gets underway, there will be quite a lot of discussions surrounding road events in Kenya and how they have grown over the years. And what a better way to look at that growth by looking at how the Standard Chartered Nairobi Marathon has made great strides over the years. And I'm now joined on set by Regina Mukiri, the project manager for the Standard Chartered Nairobi Marathon. Regina, thank you very much for coming to Setting the Pace.
You're welcome.
And Bernard Ndong is sports journalist and a presenter. Monsieur Bernard. I don't know how they say welcome in French.
In French you say enchanté.
Enchanté, Monsieur Bernard.
Thank you.
Did I say it right?
You said it right, and I will respond Dorian. Don't mention it.
Regina, please say something here.
No. No, I'm fine with English.
Bonjour, Regina. Bonjour.
I'm very well, thank you.
I just said hello, Regina.
Hello to you.
Bonjour, ça va? Very well. Let me start with you, Regina. How has it been through the years, looking at the growth over these 11 years?
Well, I must say that the growth has been tremendous. We started at a very modest figure of participants, 4,000 in 2003. And since then, the event has grown. We saw it come to 11,000 in about 2008. And within the next 5 years, we have doubled the number, because last year we had 21,000 registered participants. And this year, we are even looking for bigger numbers. So it's been a good growth, and we are very happy about that.
Bernard, you've had an opportunity to look at the marathon over the years.
Yes.
How would you look at the growth of this event, the biggest really in East and Central Africa?
For me, I think for the Nairobi Marathon, so far, the way I've experienced it, I've seen it, the way it's grown, its progression, it's become very competitive.
How has Standard Chartered Marathon provided what the Kenya athletics team really hasn't been able to do that, considering, well, it can only accommodate as many people on the team?
Well, one of our objectives is actually to identify, to give a new talent a platform to launch their career. So really what we do with the marathon is target the budding athletes. We're not looking for the elite who are running in Boston. We are looking at that guy who could be practicing in Kapsabet, has never had an opportunity to launch their career. So here is a platform, and to prepare for this, we have an international standard event where we have timing equipment. It's fully accredited by IWF and AIMS. It's also fully other technical requirements for somebody to actually have a certificate that is viable and valid in other international athletic competitions. We provide that. So for example, once you get your timing that is done through a marathon, you can be able to get into a different race altogether out of the country. And due to our partnership with Athletics Kenya, we've been able to hone up our standards really so that we match our other marathons in the world, and also with a lot of learnings from other 10 marathons that are sponsored by the bank across the world.
And Bernard Ndong, it's a story that you have probably done on the Kenyan media over these years, and it's a story that keeps coming out every other day when we speak about the Standard Chartered Marathon. Stories of people coming from oblivion to stardom in just under 2 hours. Mm-hmm. How has it been? Are we likely to, is it a story that defines this event every other year?
For an athlete who wants to break out, you're using this particular race as a litmus test for yourself. Understand? Because you can't get another opportunity such as that one. You see, you run with them. You're running with people who are coming from maybe from Uganda. You're coming with athletes who are coming from Italy, from the United Kingdom. This is the same scenario that you find yourself when you're competing in the Chicago Marathon, competing in the New York Marathon, competing in the Berlin Marathon, competing as well as even in the Tokyo Marathon.
And you mentioned Uganda. We are having the 2013 edition of the Standard Chartered Marathon. Well, Uganda just won the Mombasa Marathon just a couple of weeks ago. Regina, what are some of the reasons that those that come to take part in the marathon really say? Because I know others come for the 1.5 million, the top 10 really come for the 1.5 million shillings prize money. But that is just half of the story.
Yeah, and you're very right on that, because we have other compelling reasons that have made Kenyans turn out in numbers. Whereas the platform for the elite is one of them, we have 3 other factors that really motivate Kenyans to participate. One of which is Seeing is Believing, which is our initiative for eradication of avoidable blindness. And a lot of people have come out because they want to run for a noble reason to help rectify a situation like that one. So far, with the contribution that we get from the marathon, we have done over 5,000 operations in children. And restoring 5,000 sight in children is big, because an operation for a child is very expensive. It's pretty more expensive than a grown-up. So having that kind of magnitude of change in somebody's life has been a very compelling reason for people to turn out. Then there is also those who come to run for fun. Big numbers.
Yeah, me and Bernard Ndong always one.
Yes, and we have a very vibrant expo area. We have music, we have food, we have a place that you can come and chill out. And these are people, and how we see this is, if you look at the number of people who participate in 10-kilometer and family fun run, the number of children who come with their parents, it's an outing, and who hang out after the race to just have a nice time as a family, then it just kind of hones down on why we do the marathon. It's for Seeing is Believing, it's for fun, it's for the athlete, and also to showcase our city, the Nairobi. So if you look at the new route that we have launched now, it's also trying to show the best parts of Nairobi.
And I'm coming to the route in just a while, because here is a man that has defined the Standard Chartered Nairobi Marathon. He lost his sight at a very young age, but like he says, there is a bright side to every adversity in life. Henry Wanyuike, multiple champion in Paralympics and record holder in the world. He graces our first part of the show today.
Henry Wanyuike is my name, age 39. I'm an athlete. I represent people with a disability, and I participate in the Paralympics, having won several gold medals, and I'm a triple world record holder. I started to run when I was a young boy. I started to run at the age of 12 years, going to the school, and it happened that I was representing the primary school and the high school from primary 7, and I used to go all the way to the national levels, and I used to win trophies and certificates for myself and for the school, and it was a great inspiration from our great athletes like our legend Kipchoge Keino, I used to admire them, and I was wishing to be like them. I lost my sight when I finished Form 4, and that is because of the mild stroke, which later affected my optic nerves. So I lost my sight on 30th April 1995, and then after recovering from the stroke, on 30th April I went to bed, and then the next day from the 1st May 1995, I've never been able to see with my eyes again. Seeing is Believing campaign started from the year 2003 when the Nairobi Marathon was introduced here in Kenya. And we are happy that it's a great position because we are giving sight to millions of vulnerable children outside there. And it's not only in Kenya, it's all over the world, around the world. So I'm so proud with the Standard Chartered Bank for coming up with this noble idea, and it's a great cause. I started to run with my childhood friend Joseph Kibuja, and it was not so easy because he was not a runner before. He was not an athlete, but so we had to introduce to him on how to do it with my friend John, and later he was able to catch up after 2 years. We went to World Championships in France, and were able to win 2 gold medals and 2 world records. Then from there we have been going to different countries. I have been to Athens, beating my own records. We have been to London Marathon, to Boston Marathon, New York Marathon, and I'm happy that we have been able to win. And now currently, with the help of my friend Joseph, we are able to have 3 world records. So we are proud of what we have done with my friend Joseph, and I'm so proud of the way he gave me his time, the way he is always quite supportive towards my success. So I thank God for giving me such a great friend. Having achieved what we have achieved, we decided to have Henry Wanyuki Foundation, which we registered in the year 2005. And since then, we have been going to schools. We saw it is very important to be inspiration to the young people and to show them that they can be able to achieve like the way we have achieved. Despite the challenges one might be going through, they can take them as the stepping stone to take them to the great heights. I believe from what I have achieved and the life I have gone through, the Kenyans and the people from around the world, they can learn from me that disability is not inability. And out of the challenges you might be going through, you can turn them to more diversity. It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean that going through any kind of challenge that is ahead of you. Take it in a positive way, and you can through those challenges, they can take you far. They can take you to the great heights.
Henry Wanyuki, who would have imagined that one's own disability would turn out into something of an asset? And perhaps this was exhibited this year when Henry Wanyuki just got an invitation, a prestigious opportunity to address the United Nations General Assembly, the 68th Council meeting. And Henry Wanyuki epitomizes everything about this marathon. And you were speaking earlier about the new route for the 2013 edition. After 10 years, would have imagined there'd be something new coming our way?
Well, 10 years was a mark of maturity, really, and we were looking at how do we get better, how do we offer something that also demonstrates that we are meeting international standards. And one of the ways was, let's relook at our route. How best can we make it an experience for the participants, both the elite and also the ones who come to run for Seeing is Believing, making it not only challenging, but also very, very visual for somebody who wants to experience Nairobi.
And Bernard, anybody coming to run the 2013 edition thinking, I know the route too well, may just be in for a route show.
Precisely. And I think it's a fantastic initiative for them to change the route. It brings out an aspect of sports tourism, something that I think is yet to, it's still in its infancy stages here in Kenya. It's something that needs to be developed, whereby you use such major sporting events such as this one, with the initiative that they're doing as far as Seeing is Believing, and also that aspect of tourism, showcase Kenya, showcase Nairobi, Look at the streets of Nairobi. Of course, you just talked about over 55 nationalities last year. Definitely this year, they're more expected. Give them a chance to see the streets of Nairobi.
I would imagine it may be a little bit different than to lower the 210 course record that was set in last year.
Exactly. So I think it's going to be a fun one. I think it's going to be an interesting, and also I think it'll be very competitive as well. You know, the fact that you've said it yourself.
Generally, the corporate confidence that has characterized Nairobi Marathon, one of the biggest really, with nearly sponsors lining up to be associated with the marathon, and the bank just increased that association for 5 more years. What was the reason behind that?
For a corporate, it serves 3 angles basically. You have one key thing for them is the strategy that aligns with what our bank stands for and the charity that which is so credible. 2, an opportunity for their staff to participate and engage. And we've seen like companies like Alpine Coolers who provide the water. They don't just give us the water and leave. They bring all their staff on the day to volunteer. And they're the ones at the water station. They're the ones who come up and set up the stations. So that for them is staff engagement. Those who are not volunteering are running. So we have huge numbers from the sponsors coming also to participate in the race. And
those that are very good in mathematics, we're getting reports that Alpine Coolers, like Regina has mentioned, are going to provide about 130,000 bottles of water, and each bottle has 300 millimeters in it. So just do quick mathematics and find out just how much liters of water will be used this year. Now let's hear from the man that is going to lose weight in a couple of days to come, or he's possibly lost quite a lot of it, Peter Gitau, the local organizing committee chair, about the event.
The race gives people a chance to compete, launch careers, and have fun. It also gives people a chance to give back to society and be part of the Seeing is Believing initiative of restoring preventative blindness. In all the 10 years that we've run the race, only one runner has won it more than once. So it's just great. It's a great opportunity for everyone. We're looking at 23,000 this year. It's exciting. We will now have 23 reasons for people to show up. I think what we've been trying to do throughout this event is to build a momentum of early registration. That allows us to plan better. That also allows, in our view, the runners to plan better, get ready, get psyched up, and prepare to run a good race. 23,000 is a number, and we are really confident that we will hit that number.
It's not just the federation. The government of Kenya is also taking this event absolutely serious, considering the recent security threats that befell Kenya in 2013. The Sports and Culture Cabinet Secretary Hassan Rio has also assured that the government of Kenya will go out of its way to ensure security for this event remains top-notch.
I think I must underline what my colleagues in cabinet have said, what His Excellency the President has said. Kenya is safe. It's safe for investment. It's safe for our day-to-day activities. What happened in Kenya happens everywhere. Boston Marathon, of all the things, had a almost similar case there. So we will be vigilant. Our security forces are vigilant. And today, in fact, I spoke to my Department of Sports about heightened security, the need for heightened security, not only in such marathons, but also in our stadia. And one of the things that we're doing for our stadia, for instance, is now trying to install security measures like CCTVs and other things in big places like Kasarani and Nyayo Stadium. So we had taken this issue up before even Westgate happened. We had realized that security is going always to be an issue in such events. But in addition to uniformed men and women who will be there to make sure that people are safe, every Kenyan is responsible. Every Kenyan must carry that responsibility of ensuring that there are no strangers around them who may disrupt us. I think I take the government spirit, and we are saying we will not relent. We will not be stopped by terrorists. We will move on as a country.
In the coming days, I'm going to try and see if I can run the 5-kilometer fun race. And it's something that Bernard Long, I know, hasn't done. I don't know if Regina, where she sits, probably organizing this event takes quite a lot of your time. But you haven't run the Standard Chartered Marathon, have you?
No, I'm not.
You haven't run either, Regina?
I run in my mind because I just see it going on and on.
Well, you'll be
Yeah.
asking for that time.
Yeah.
That time. Let me just ask you, Regina, something here. I know you recently traveled out of the country, but where is this one place that you like traveling out of the country so much, probably for holiday? You have one destination in mind?
Ooh, wow, that's a surprise. I think, where would I say is a good one? South Africa has been great.
Why?
It's different. Cape Town is just beautiful.
Fantastic. Mon ami Bernard Ndom, I wish this is where my French were good. I'll throw in one or two things.
Yes.
What is it that, one thing that people don't know about you? I mean, they see you on TV every other day doing reports and all that, but one thing they don't know about you, perhaps.
One thing, of course, most viewers don't know about me is that I'm a very good artist. I draw quite well.
Oui.
I draw quite well, and you've already revealed one little secret. I speak French.
Moi aussi. Moi aussi.
Can I test you?
Oui.
Je voudrais savoir votre niveau de français.
Well, this is where I put that question to Wilson Kipsang, the world marathon record holder. Let's get to know him better than you already have.
I think my first date was really very fun because I was still young. My first kiss was really good because you find that at times in my culture we are not used to really having a kiss, but my first kiss was really good. My favorite place to really travel on holiday is Honolulu. My first time winning outside Kenya is Tarsus Half Marathon, which I won $3,000, like 270,000 Kenyan money. The most expensive thing I have really bought is building Kelo Resort. I think it is really the most expensive which I have done in my life. The cheapest thing which I own, I think is really an handkerchief, 20 shillings. I really met my wife in the farm. My first car which I really owned was a Nissan Pulsar. And I really bought it at a price of 120,000 Kenyan money. I think maybe what many people don't know is that I'm a God-fearing guy.
I would need French lessons. If anyone watching right now is offering, please get in touch with me at Sadiq Shaban or at Zuku Sports. I will absolutely avail myself for classes. Now, the prize money for the Standard Chartered Nairobi Marathon at the moment is 1.5 million Kenyan shillings. The same prize money also for the CAS Marathon, the big two events in Kenya that pay that amount of money for the prize winning. So we're asking members of the public, should this money be increased?
Yeah, kama athlete wakipewa 1.5, mi kama volleyballer na ni team sport, mi naweza sema iko poa. Because unaweza pata kama team sport mnaweza pewa hiyo 1.5 mgawane. So kwa mtu mmoja I think iko tu sawa.
It's really motivating. It's like athletes going to Europe and participating in a marathon there, and bringing the race here to Kenya. I think if they'll add up something, it will even attract world-class athletes, world beaters.
The prize money should be enhanced a bit if you have to get all the major international athletes coming. Of course, if you want to really have the top athletes coming to this event, you have to give some good amount of money that is going to entice them to come.
It's good money. It's good money, especially for those who are beginners, because for the elite athletes, I think they earn more than that. But it's very, very good money for somebody to get 1.5 million locally. So I really appreciate the standard for what they're doing and the way they are improving lives of other people.
In the last episode of Setting the Pace, I asked you how old is Ethiopian running legend Haile Gebrselassie. Did you say 40 years or said his date of birth is 1973? Congratulations, you are the winner. If you didn't get it right, no problem. You have another opportunity this week. And I'm asking you, what is Usain Bolt's 200 meters world record time? tweet me the correct answer at Sadiq Shaban or at Zuku Sports, whichever you like, and I'll be reading the winner of this trivia in the next installment. Will you be running the Standard Chartered Nairobi Marathon? If yes, please take those beautiful photos and tag us at Zuku Sports, or post some of them on our Facebook page at Zuku Official, and we'll be able to sample and relive those great moments from the 11th edition of the marathon. That's all the time we had this week for this show, Setting the Pace. On behalf of the team, my name is Sadiq Shaban. Goodbye for now.